Imagine that you are sitting in a plush red velvet chair. I want everybody here to remove themselves from this room and instead place themselves within a music hall. You sit in darkness. You wait with trembling anticipation. A deathly silence falls over the auditorium. The conductor stands and raises his arms in exultation. And then, with the sharp flick of his wrist, the orchestra cries out. Nothing. Deafening silence pulsates within your ears. You have no idea what on earth is going on. The instrumentalists sit motionless, mute. And then you realize they were too afraid to make a sound. They do not wish to stand out. I believe that this is a state of race relations in the 21st century. The diversity in the human family should be the cause of love and unity, but instead is a catalyst of death and destruction. The many different notes in music should blend together in the forming of a perfect chord, but instead they assault one another to form a piercing shriek. Why should I care when I need to go ball dress shopping and study for my exams? Why should you care when you have bills to pay and a family to feed? If we apply these Baha'i writings to New Zealand society and to our everyday lives, then why should any of us care when our materialism and consumerism have engulfed our ethics, empathy, and whatever remained of our morality? And you might say, but Meaghan, look at the impassioned young leaders that surround you at this very moment. I think that everyone can still agree that we are a minority. We are the lone, outspoken soloists amongst an orchestra of silence and apathy. The devastating paradox is that within third world countries and within our very own backyards, racially motivated attacks and discrimination are still prevalent, while the majority of us are simply caring less and less. Navtej Singh, the Supret owner, shot and robbed. Michael Choi, the pizza delivery man, lured, beaten and left to die by a group of children aged 12 to 17. Just 1 month ago, an Asian student assaulted by a skinhead in Gisborne. These stories sicken me, and they make me so incredibly disillusioned. To you, does this resonate love and harmony? To you, does this resemble a perfect chord? The crux of the matter is that our world will never be devoid of discrimination. As long as you look different, as long as you sound different, as long as you think differently, you will be treated differently. That is the devastating, harsh reality of human nature. And as soon as I stood up here on this stage today, you did not see a 17-year-old. You did not see a female. You saw an Asian who probably really likes maths and Hello Kitty and doesn't indicate when she drives, right? and I'm not being accusatory. I know that it's true because that's how I would react. That is a product of having harmless jokes and funny stereotypes ingrained within you for your entire life. Because racism is taught. Preschoolers can recognize difference, but we are the ones who force them to recognize inferiority. They don't know how to hate the amount of melanin in someone's skin. They don't know how to degrade someone based on the shape of their eyes. But tolerance can also be taught. Ignorance can be vanquished. The diversity in the human family can be embraced instead of shunned. And it all starts from within our own mindsets, opinions, actions, and perceptions. These rifts that keep all of us here divided may cause death, destruction and discrimination, yet they are irreplaceable. Century-old differences of dress, tradition, language, culture, beliefs that make you so beautifully unique from those sitting right in front of you. It is not this diversity that needs to be changed, but our inherent persecution of it. We should be striving for this to become a reality, to reach a day when cooperation between races is no longer a lofty goal, but simply an inherent part of everyday life. I welcome the day that our government deems this of utmost importance, instead of trifles such as raising GST and bickering over the driving age. I anticipate the day when global harmony is no longer an ideal, but an actuality. When the youth who care about race unity are not only the ones who enter speech competitions. This harmony cannot exist if we rely on the work of a minority alone. Music is a universal language of the world, so instead of passively sitting within an orchestra, compose it, create it, lead it. Do not hide amongst masses. Let your voice be your instrument of change. Realize the true power and potential that every single one of you possess. Apply this Baha'i mantra into your mindset, and only then will you realize how beautiful and how colourful our world is. We may be the soloists, but we are the loudest. And eventually we will be the composers of the deafening symphony of New Zealand's future. Change does not start within parliaments, but in here. The creation of a harmonious and safe New Zealand society does not start within politicians, but in here. It's as simple as becoming a proactive member of your school and community. Join a club, watch the news. Whatever you do, just refuse to settle into the redundant cycle of eat, sleep, study, work, party. Stand up to those who belittle others. The only thing that you should not stand to tolerate is intolerance. But most importantly, appreciate the sacrifices that your loved ones made for you to be here today. Aspire to do the same for your kin.